So today the class we are going to discuss about connectivity modes. So in Power BI generally we have three kind of connectivity modes are there. One is direct query and direct query import and live connection. So for SQL Server by default, SQL Server it will support two kind of import methods. So one is import and another one is direct query. So let's provide the database name and the server name. So here we can get it the server name. So provide the server name. Okay. So here two connectivity modes. One is import or direct query. What is the major difference for import and direct query? We'll discuss. The very first one, when you select import method, so the data, whatever the data is there from whatever the tables we are going to select, those tables data, it will be directly import to the up to now. For example, we are going to the data fetching 9:16 a.m. After that, the data cannot fetch the data cannot be get the data. That data is not available in the imported file after import the file. So click OK. So now here I'm going to choose department import table. So let's see. So I'm going to choose department table. So I'm going to select here department file. So the table now it is going to import the data. See here, importing means from it will connect to the SQL server and how many records so far for department info table. So it will be loaded the data to here. So this PBIX file. So this is called it will be stored hard disk memory only. 27 rows are there. Okay, department info. Let's see, we want to see the department info table. Go for here. Check. We want to check how many rows are there. 27 records are there. Okay. So we see here the count 27 rows are there. Okay. Now you want to insert now in between. So I am going to insert one more record for global edutech database. Go to the tables. So how to insert the data is I will go to right click here, edit top 2000 rows. So I'm going to insert one record. So 271. So 271 payroll department. I'm giving same department. Managing director 0 same 17. We can give the department name should be unique, right? All the department. You can give staff department 271, manager 0. Yeah, that's fine. 1700. It's fine. So right click, execute SQL. Not inserted. So now this one is executed, right? Yeah, 271 I have inserted. 271 staff, the department name 0 I have inserted. Now let's see. The data is here 270. So before the importing time, so the time is around, so let us assume this is a department table. The data whatever we have inserted, the full load happened on at what time? 9:18, right? 9:18 a.m. Okay, 9:18 a.m. So after that, so I am going to insert. Earlier, how many records are there? 27 records are there. I am going to insert one record, 28th record. At what time is? Around 9:20. So here in this case, so here up to here, this data only is available while importing the data. So whenever we are doing this is happened 9:18 a.m. So only that time data is available if you go for import data. So you want to refresh the data. So always if you insert the data in SQL Server, that data is not directly in the PBX file. So if you go for import method, only whenever the data imported that time, only the data it will fetch into this report. So you want to get again the latest data in the PBX file. So what we can do is we can simply we want to refresh the report. So as of now, let's see the staff department name, the ID number, department number is 271. 271 is not exist here, right? You want to fetch the latest data again. We want to refresh the report. So go to refresh data. So here the drawback is if we go for import method, the drawback is we cannot get the latest data. Simple. See now after refreshing this record we have inserted, right? This record came, right? So that's the import method. The drawback is the advantage is very faster compared with direct query. The disadvantage is we cannot get the latest data. So whenever you want to get the latest data, we want to refresh the report. And also refresh, we can directly refresh only one table you want to refresh here. Direct right click, refresh data. You want to enter the report, you want to refresh. So go to home. Here refresh option is there. It will refresh full report. That means all the table. How many tables are there here? It will refresh for the entire tables. You want to separate only one table. I want to refresh. Right click, refresh for that particular table. Clear? So let's see. Go to the document. So import connection. An import connection Power BI imports the data from any data source into our local machine. So our computer. So if in import connection, Power BI make use of its in-memory engine called as Vertify or X velocity to import the data. Uh, this is the methodology to import the data. So the import data gets saved into the Power BI PBX file. So whatever the data it will be stored, it will fetch the data and store in this file itself. So one more drawback is if the file has huge data, like let's say 2,000 records or 10,000 or 1 lakh, below 1 lakh records will go for import method. If it let us assume that the data is like 500 millions of data is there in the source side. So in that time for importing data, 5,000 millions record, and it will taking more time. Along with this file size, it will be increased, right? So everything it will be stored, save the data into fetch the data into this report, and it will be save the data here in this PBX file. So that is one disadvantage. One more disadvantage. The import data gets saved into the Power BI file in the compressed columnar file. So while fetching the data, so from SQL Server or any source, and by there is a methodology, right? Artifacts and X velocity. So those in-memory engines, those it will compress the data, and like for example, 500 MB is there. It will compress like around 200 MB. So and the same time it for the faster queryable. So while retrieving the data, it's very faster. So hence the import connection gives very good performance compared with direct query. Okay. So let's talk about the example. Just now we were discussed about the example. So there is a department info. We have, by using that table, we fetch the data into our model. Okay. So the advantages is retrieval is very faster compared with direct query, and disadvantages are like if it is used that data table having more records, like millions of records. This is not way of going uh, best best as per best methodology. We have to choose that time. So we want to connect direct mode or import method. So when we connect SQL Server, first of all, what we have to do the analysis. First of all, how many records are there? So go to the table. For example, select start from info. So how many records it is there? You can simply, this is the query for select start from. So it will retrieve all the records. So choose give all the records in this table. So in the right side, 28 rows are there. Instead of that, there is a function count star. Count star, it will return number of the rows instead of all rows. So 28 rows is there. Based on this analysis, if it is like a 1 lakh or 10 lakh, 10 lakh, so best method is you can go for import method. If it is more than that, if it is a million or 10 millions or 100, more than 100 millions, better you can go for direct query. So direct query will explain later how it will work. So in this example, import method, so you have to give server name and database, and then when you choose as, so this data connectivity mode, you have to decide it. So based on the data, so import or direct query. So for example, I am going to department info. The total records are 28 records. So simply I will go with import method. So any questions on here, import method? Okay. So the second one is, if no questions, we'll go for direct query method connection. So direct query connection method. So what is happening is internally, so it can directly connect to this table. So whenever I'm choosing the methodology as direct method, so I'm going to choose direct method. So it cannot import the data. So whatever the data is there. So whenever the report you want to directly it will connect. Always it will direct connect to the database. So always you want to see the live data. So earlier we have created one record, right? 28th record staff. There is a ID is staff, right? We created one row, right? We enter one row, right? So in this case, when you connect as a direct query, so no need to refresh the report. It will coming the data automatically. Okay. So we'll go for same mechanism. Interview point, what is the difference between direct query and import method? They will ask this question. So if you go for director query, we can able to see the live data, means latest data. Whereas in import method, we cannot able to see the live data until report is refreshed. So right now, again, I'm going to choose as a department info and load. So whenever you choose a department underscore info, so we'll add a second, click OK. This is pop-up will come. So automatically the name department info underscore to another name it will come. So you can rename it. So later, once created, you can rename it for this report. So rename, I'm going to give report info. Instead of that, I'm going to direct query method DM. Okay. See now 271, right? So 28 records is there. I am going to just I'm going to create here one sample report. So for that I want to see the department info. So what is the department ID and department name? That's all. I want to see these two records in this report. Okay. Zoom it. Okay. So if you see here, 271 is the last record. So I'm going to insert now. So I'm going to different approach for the second time. I'm going to insert into what is the table name? What is the value I'm going to insert? What is the max value? 271, right? I'm going to insert 272. So giving department name, my department. So I'm giving who is the manager for the department. I'm going to pass the value 0. And what is the location ID? So what is the location ID for that? 1700, right? Yeah, we'll go for 1700. There is a mistake here. So no one identified. So we have to give department info. This is the table name. Insert into table name values 0 and 1700. So we have total 4 columns. The very first column is department ID, department name, and manager ID and location ID. This is the 4 records. So let's see, let's watch it in the department table. So department ID, department name, manager ID, location ID. So department ID, I'm going to insert as a new value as 272 and my department name. So I'm going to give as my department. So I'm going to give as manager ID as 0. Okay. And location ID as 1700. So I'm going to insert one more record. So now, so row is inserted. Let's see the row is inserted or not. This is the select star. Here also we have to change, give the table name instead of database name. Okay. So here now see one more record is inserted 272 my department. Okay. Let's see now.
సార్
Yes, Rohit.
మనం అప్డేట్ చేసింది డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఇన్ఫో వేరే టేబుల్ లో సార్ మీరు సెలెక్ట్ చేసిన ఫస్ట్ టేబుల్లో.
Yeah. Correct. That's what I'm looking. So go to table, go to department info. Good catch. So why data is not refreshing? That's what I'm seeing here. See here. So as of now, I did not refresh anything. 272. I'm going to insert one more record. Okay, 273. My department _1. I'm going to insert one more. So I'm going to insert here one record. So now 272, right? After that, it will come. Maybe the time period is there. So for how many seconds they have mentioned? General. Visuals. So this properties is there here. So go to properties, page refresh. We have to on page refresh. So then, so we have to give refresh for this page every 30 minutes. That's the reason it is not coming. So refresh for 10 seconds. We can give it 10 seconds. So now page refresh automatically it will come, and that after 10 seconds 272, right? See here, this record here after 10 seconds. So I did not refresh this report. Okay, automatically came. Want to test now 10 more seconds. So now I have, after setting the properties, 274, I'm giving the value. See here, just watch it carefully now. See 2073. Now it will come as 274 as my department 2. So how many seconds I kept here? 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds, we can able to see the record 274. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, already came in the down. See, 274. So what is the advantage for this method? So we'll fetch the live data. Okay. So direct query methodology. whenever choose connectivity method as direct query, so we can get the latest data. Right. So methodology type connectivity mode. Okay, get data. So here, see, right click, edit query, right? So when you click as a source, right? So source in the sense we have to pass the server name and database name, right? So here, okay, and that time we have two options will come: import or direct method. Okay, so generally you can the best option is here. So get data, SQL server method, SQL server method. So here two methods come: import or direct query. When you choose as direct query, so it will fetch that data automatically. No need to reports. No need to refresh. When you choose as the import method, సో మనం ఏ టయానికి అయితే ఇంపోర్ట్ చేస్తామో ఆ టయానికి మనకి ఎస్క్యూఎల్ సర్వర్లో డేటా ఆ టేబుల్ ఎంత డేటా ఉంటుందో అంత అదే డేటా మాత్రమే వస్తుంది. ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ మనము 9:20కి 27 రికార్డ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. 9:20కి ఆ టైంలోనే మనం రిఫ్రెష్ చేసామనుకోండి, 9:20కి ఓన్లీ 27 రికార్డ్సే వస్తాయి. ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ 9:30కి మళ్ళీ నేను 3 రికార్డ్స్ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేశా. 271, 272, 273, 271 4 రికార్డ్స్ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేశా. ఆ 4 రికార్డ్స్ వచ్చేసి ఇంపోర్ట్ మెథడ్ అయితే చూపించవు. ఓకే, మళ్ళీ నీకు లేటెస్ట్ డేటా 4 రికార్డ్స్ కావాలి అంటే ఇంపోర్ట్ మెథడ్ చూస్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు రిపోర్ట్ ని ఎవ్రీ టైం రిఫ్రెష్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, ఆ రిపోర్ట్ ని ఎవ్రీ టైం రిఫ్రెష్ చేయాలి. నాకు అలా కాదు, కొన్ని రిపోర్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి మా ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళకి ఈ రోజు డేట్ ఉండదు అనుకోండి, వాళ్ళకి ప్రియర్ డే వరకు చూపించాలి. మేమేం చేస్తామంటే అన్ని రిపోర్ట్స్ అన్ని వాళ్ళు మార్నింగ్ వాళ్ళకి ఇప్పుడు మిడ్ నైట్ ఉంటుంది కదా, యుఎస్ టైం జోన్ లో ఎరిజోనా ఉంటుంది. యుఎస్ లో ఎరిజోనా స్టేట్ టైం జోన్స్ మేము ఫాలో అవుతాం. ఆ టైమింగ్స్ అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఇప్పుడు మిడ్ నైట్ ఉంటుంది, ఈ టైంలో మా జాబ్స్ అన్ని రన్ అవుతాయి. సో వాళ్ళు వచ్చాక మార్నింగ్ కి అప్ టు ఎస్టర్డే వరకు డేటా రిఫ్రెష్ అయ్యింది. సో అప్పుడు నువ్వు ఇంపోర్ట్ మెథడ్ వెళ్ళొచ్చు. కొన్ని రిపోర్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, వీ వాంట్ టు సీ లైవ్ డేటా అంటే రియల్ టైమ్ రిపోర్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి. రియల్ టైమ్ రిపోర్ట్స్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు స్టాక్ మార్కెటింగ్ చూస్తారు, ఎవ్రీ మినిట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఈ రోజు ఒక స్టాక్ మార్కెటింగ్కి వెళ్ళాం అనుకోండి, స్టాక్ రేట్ ఎంత ఉంది, యూ వాంట్ టు సీ, తీసుకోవచ్చు. గెట్ డేటా వెబ్ ఉంటుంది, గెట్ డేటా వెబ్. We'll see tomorrow. I will explain. I will take a proper thing. ఇక్కడ సింపుల్ మన గెట్ డేటా వెబ్ ఉంటుంది. సో హియర్ వెబ్, యూ హావ్ టు పాస్ దట్ వెబ్. దీనివల్ల మనకు అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే ఒక డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ కూడా ఉంది డైరెక్ట్ క్వరీలో. ఏమి డిసడ్వాంటేజ్? ఎవ్రీ టైం నీకు ఎవ్రీ 10 minutes కి డేటాబేస్ హిట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో అప్పుడు నెట్వర్క్ ట్రాఫిక్ అనేది అంటే నీకు ప్రతిసారి హిట్ కావడం వల్ల ఎక్కువ కాల్స్ దానికి డేటాబేస్. ఆ టైంలో ఒక 100 మెంబర్స్ సేమ్ క్వరీని రన్ చేస్తే 100 times డేటాబేస్కి వెళ్ళి హిట్ అయ్యి డేటాబేస్ నుంచి రిట్రీవల్ జరుగుతుంది డేటా. అంటే 10 అంత ఆ టైంలో. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆ టైంలో ఎక్కువ హ్యూజ్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ యూజర్స్ సేమ్ క్వరీ చేస్తే కాసేపు వెయిట్ చేయాల్సింది వస్తుంది. వెయిటింగ్ అంటే ఒక సర్టైన్ లిమిట్, ఒక 100 క్వరీస్ మాత్రమే వాళ్ళు లిమిట్ పెట్టారనుకోండి, సేమ్ టైంలో రన్ కావాలని. 101 క్వరీ రన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏదైతే 100 క్వరీస్లో ఏదైతే అయిపోలేదు స్టిల్ రన్నింగ్ అనుకోండి, 100 క్వరీ వెయిటింగ్ స్టేట్ లో ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, అంటిల్ అన్లెస్ ఒక 100 లో ఒక క్వరీ అయిపోతేనే నెక్స్ట్ 101 రన్ అవుతుంది. సో దానివల్ల నెట్వర్క్ ట్రాఫిక్ వచ్చేసి వెయిట్ చేయాల్సింది వస్తుంది సమ్ టైమ్స్. సో అండ్ ఆల్సో సెకండ్ డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ వచ్చేసి ఎవ్రీ టైం హిట్ అవుతా ఉంటుంది డేటాబేస్. వెరీ క్లియర్. లెట్స్ గో ఫర్ ద థియరిటికల్ పార్ట్. In the direct query connection, every time Power BI queries the data source and get the required data. Every time it will connect. So whatever the configuration we have done in the report level, so I have given. So what is the configuration? How to give the configuration is click anywhere, not select any visual. Click the these are the page level settings, not visual level settings. So go to here and right click. There is a properties. This is report level properties. Okay. So there is a page refresh. So page refresh, we have auto page refresh. So click auto page refresh and here it will ask seconds or minutes or hours or days. Whenever you choose as a 10 seconds, every 10 minutes it will hit the database. Okay. So based on this configuration, it will detect that query and hit the database and fetch the latest data. So example I am giving here 10 hours. So it will wait after 10 hours, it will fetch the latest data. Clear? By default గా 1 day మేము అసలు డైరెక్ట్ పేజ్ రిఫ్రెష్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ ఫర్ డైరెక్ట్ క్వరీ మెథడాలజీ. We will go for import method. సో ఇంపోర్ట్ మెథడ్ లో వెళ్ళి మా రియల్ టైమ్ లో సో ఈ క్వశ్చన్ కూడా అడుగుతారు హౌ మెనీ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ కనెక్షన్స్ సో ఫార్ యూజ్డ్ ఇన్ యువర్ ప్రాజెక్ట్. దిస్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్. సో యూ కెన్ ఆన్సర్ ఇట్. Most of time we can use import method, and for sometimes there is a real time reports are there, few reports are there. For that we will connect direct query. ఇప్పుడు మాది కాల్ సెంటర్ డేటా మెయింటైన్ చేస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఎంతమంది ఏజెంట్ కరెంట్ గా లాగిన్ అయ్యింది, ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఎంతమంది కాల్ ఆన్సర్ చేస్తున్నారు, వచ్చిన కాల్స్ హ్యాండిల్ టైం, యావరేజ్ టైం, ఇట్లా వాటిని ఇప్పుడు చూపించుకోవాలి. ఆ పర్సన్ వచ్చేసి ఎంతసేపు ఆ కస్టమర్ తో మాట్లాడాడు. వీ వాంట్ టు సీ ద యాక్చువల్ డేటా. అటువంటి దానికి రియల్ టైం ఇచ్చేస్తాం. మేము ఒక 3 or 4 రిపోర్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. మీకు అది రియల్ టైం డేటా అంటే ఇప్పుడు కాదు, ఈవినింగ్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది మాకు రియల్ టైం డేటా. ఎందుకంటే ఎరిజోనా టైం కాబట్టి ఆ టైంలో చూడొచ్చు. మిగతా అప్పుడు ఆ డేటాకి ఏమి ఉండదు, ఓన్లీ ఎవ్రీడే మాత్రమే డేటా చూపిస్తుంది, కరెంట్ డే డేటా. Okay. So in the direct query connections, Power BI is not maintaining any local data copy like import. సో అక్కడైతే మనకి ఏమవుతుంది, డేటా తెచ్చుకొని ఇంపోర్ట్ మెథడ్ లో పవర్ బై PBX ఫైల్ లో డేటా స్టోరేజ్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ ఫిజికల్ మెమరీ. అంటే మన ఆ మెమరీ అంతా హార్డ్ డిస్క్ లోనే స్టోర్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ మనకు అట్లాంటిది ఏం అవసరం లేదు. ఇక్కడ డైరెక్ట్ క్వరీ, నో స్టోరేజ్ మెథడ్. స్టోరేజ్ మెథడ్ ఏమి ఉండదు. ఇట్ విల్ డైరెక్ట్ ఫెచ్ ద డేటా. ఇట్ విల్ కనెక్ట్ data and fetch like it connect to SQL server and fetch the data directly. There is no storage method in between. Okay, it is just storing the metadata, means column headers information. Okay, currently Power BI is not supporting the direct query for all the data sources. So SQL server ki direct query support chestadi, plot file ki maybe support cheyakapovachu, plot files. So like that. So for the fee of any database, it will support. So what are the data source here? So if we go for here, these are the data sources. Let's see here more. So these are all data sources. So all files are file related data sources or database related. Like these are the data sources. Databases means SQL Server, IBM, Oracle, Teradata, SAP HANA database, or Amazon Redshift, Vertica, Snowflake, Denodo. These are the data sources methodology. So my organization we can use Denodo as well as Denodo SQL Server, only two, and Amazon AWS. So these are based on the company. For all the companies may not to use all the data source. For our organization, we are using only SQL Server database and Denodo. Only two day and Amazon Web Service AWS. Okay. So this is Microsoft Fabric recently came. Power Platform, data flows. So this we can discuss once the concept is started. Power BI services, what is meant by data flow, and what is the purpose of data flows. Okay, next Azure related data sources. Next online services. These are the online services. Okay, others. So what they are telling is here the concept is currently Power BI is not supporting the direct query for all the data sources. So in this all the data sources, few of the data is only supporting for direct query. Currently it is not supporting for the file data sources. Okay. The example is file data sources. What are the file data sources? CSV file, Excel file, XML file, SharePoint folder. See, let's see the files. CSV, XML, JSON folder, or SharePoint folder, Excel. These are the file related. For the file related, does not support direct query. Only it is supporting import query. Here. So, and one more thing is, if we go for import method, we can able to see all these tabs. So what are the 4 tabs here left side? So report view, table view, modeling, model view, or DAX query view. These 4 views we can able to see if you go for import method. Okay. When you go for direct query, we can able to see report view, only model view, and DAX. Only these 3 views. Table view we cannot able to see if we go for direct query. This is one major important part. So I'm selected this one. See in the table view, this table view cannot shown because it is not import mode. Okay, it is a direct query because this is direct method, right? Does not support this table view. Okay, only 3 views it will support: report view, model view, tax query. Whereas for import method, so this is department is the import method. It is supporting all 4 views. See, now it is supporting table view also because of this is import method. Sometimes we can identify. So how can I identify this query is imported or this table, this data set or table is direct query. So I'm going to select department. You can able to see here, right? Import method. So if you go for department also, it's import method. When you select as department import underscore DM, so direct query. So how we can check is go to model view and select the table. So we can easily identify this table is belongs to like which storage method. Okay. So one more is yeah, live connection. We'll explain for that. So practically, yeah. So this is the direct query method. So we have done the exercise. You want to see web, we want to connect web. Okay. But URL is required. Let me type it. Okay. Get data. So web. We'll ask web URL. So right now I don't have any web URL. So I'm taking for web URL from this document. Career. Career. Over. Career. Over. Let's start and capitals. That's fine. Hmm. So India states and capital list. We want to fetch this data into report. Okay. So take this URL. So here this is web. We have to choose web URL. So give the web URL. Click OK. So connect. So here like list of the tables are there, right, in the web URL. So here, so Indian state and other capitals, this is one table, and Indian Union territories and capitals, this is one table, like that. So here everything is coming as a new one table. So here, I'm going to select as one table. Okay, view. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 on. Okay. So here in the state wise and state name and who is the Indian states. Who is the CM for that? Chief Minister for the state. Okay. We want to fetch this data. By using this data, we can create. Okay. So here, if you see based on this data, right? So column 1, Indian states and capital list. This is header, right? I don't want to this column. So we want to give as a column name as serial number and state, right? So I want to remove this top first row, right? So for this, definitely we cannot, if you give the low data, so this is not right approach because it will unwanted data also it is there in the top list. So we want to remove top one row. So for that, we want to go for Power Query. So transform data. So in the transform data level, in the transform data here, there is an option. Sorry, there is an option. So I don't want to this top row, right? So remove rows, there is an option here. So here, just see here, remove rows. Remove top rows. I want to remove top row, number of rows. I want to remove top row as 1. Click OK. Now it will remove the top row. And these columns, column 1, column 2, I want to give instead of that one, this first row, I want to give as a header, right? This first row, serial number, state, I want to give as a first row as a, I want to give as a column name. There is an option, use first row as header. Okay. Whenever you click this one, right? So that one, now the column names, serial number, state, this one as a coming as a first row. So let me again coming here. So this is the we are in the this page, right? So once loaded here, so I don't want to this information. This information like in the web level, how it is there is here. See. So Indian states and capital list they are giving. So how the data is loaded in the while connecting through web is so this thing scale Indian state and capital list. For every column, it is coming same one, right? So I don't want to this line. I want to remove this line and make it as a table for this entire one. So for that, there is option remove rows. Remove rows, remove top rows. So top rows means I'm going to, this is first row. So I'm going to remove this row. Okay. For that, it's the same thing I have done here. So we want to check here. There is a remove number of rows, 1 rows. So then here, so here in this here, the first row, first column, in the first column, in the first row, this is first row. This one as we want to see as a header instead of this one, serial number, state. I want to see this one as a header as a first column. So here there is option use first row as, this is first row, row number 1 as a first row. Instead of column 1, this is wrong names, right? Instead of that, use first row as headers. When you click here, it will come automatically change. So promoter all use first row as header. Clear? This one I can explain Power Query. I can explain from tomorrow onwards. We'll start the Power Query. We'll go for everything. So each and operations, what is the choose columns, remove columns, keep rows, remove rows, we'll discuss by tomorrow class, everything. Do not worry about. Just for connecting web and give the table name. So here table name we want to, it's a web data. You can give as a web data. Web, you can give state wise, data. You can give us. Okay, and close and apply. Close and apply. So state wise, like what we can create a state wise. Who is the how many total states are there in India? So we can create one. So let's go for. I'm going to create one more page. We have stage wise data. So here, what we can do is we can showcase state and which state. What is the capital for that state? Huh, like so state to then just to CM. Like who is the chief minister first? That Andhra Pradesh, Amaravati, Chandrababu Naidu, Arunachal Pradesh, capital, and this is CM, like that for all the states. So now here, how many states are there? Tell me, anyone answer it? So simple, we can create on card visual. So here, how many states are there? Count 28, right? 28 states are there in India. Okay, so this is the count. Also, we can create one more visual based on this table. So in the another table, if it is their population, what is the top highest population state? Huh? Yeah, you can right click here, count. Just see, I will show you one more time. So for the card visual, there is a card visual. You want to see the count always one metric, one visual. Okay. So I'm also removing now. It's blank, right? So just click here first, card visual. Click, double click here. So this card visual came here, right? So just minimize the size. Okay. Okay. Clear now? So then what is the column we want to show here? So generally card it will support aggregate values like sum more total this thing. Or even if we give here total states are there. Just drag and drop state to fields here. There is a fields. So it will by default it will give the first function, first name. So what is the first country? First state we are showing as Andhra Pradesh, right? So Andhra Pradesh we are able to see here. We want to reduce the size for this one. So instead of 45, 20 if we give. So Andhra Pradesh is the first country. So instead of that, go to here, come back. Instead of that, you can give the count, distinct count or count. So 28 will come. Instead of change from first to count. So by default, but this is string, right? String data generally. So string data always it will show the first. Instead of that, we can change first to count distinct. So it will give number. So another way is we can create one more measure. How to create a measure everything by using DAX will see in the next class. Like once the DAX class is started, we can see here, see there. So this is the way of connecting direct query. So in the directory, as of now, we have fetched only one table. Okay, out of this. So we want to try. So I will share that URL. I will share this URL. So you can try different. In the group level, I can say. So let's talk about the what is the major difference between import and direct query so far. So data storage, data it will be stored in PBX file when you do the import method. Direct query, no storage method required. So Vertifacts dependency, yes. What is the purpose of Vertifact? It will compress the data. So here yes, here no. So there is no storage method while importing, right? For the compression part is not required here. So it will fetch the data directly to connect the data source and fetch the data. Data source dependency only while performing the refreshing. So for example, when you do for example, there is a server. This server is right now is not means offline mode. So right now it is online. Okay, the server might be sometimes offline due to some reasons. They are going to make it offline. So what we can do is in that case we cannot able to get the data by using direct query. We cannot able to see the data because if the report is connected direct query. But import method లో వెళ్తే మనము ఆ query ని డైరెక్ట్ గా చూడొచ్చు. సారీ, query అంటే డేటా అయితే అప్ టు లాస్ట్ డేటా ఏది ఉందో ఆ రిపోర్ట్ అయితే వ్యూ చేయగలం. మనకు వీ కెన్ సీ. బట్ ఆ లేటెస్ట్ డేటా రాకపోయినా కూడా మనం వ్యూ చేయొచ్చు. whereas direct query it will fail. Performance wise it will be good. Here performance wise it will be late because huge number of records are there. It will always connecting. So data transformation, it supports all the data transformation features. So what is data transformations? So when you click here, right click, this is Power Query. Data transformation is nothing but to Power Query. If you go for import method, it will support all the data transformations. Whereas for this direct query, some limitations are there. Few data transformations are not supporting if we go for direct query. Data modeling, it supports all the data modeling activities. It won't support all the features. Data modeling. What is mean by data modeling? We want to connect, right? Relation between multiple tables. So Power Pivot. So that activities, use cases, and yeah, this is fine. Low performance. So when we connect use cases, import is recommended if we have slow data changes, means daily once or weekly once. So the latest data, slow data changes means సో ఎవ్రీడే మనకు చేంజ్ కాకుండా ఏదన్నా ఉంటుంది కదా. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ స్టేట్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో ఇప్పుడు స్టేట్ డేటా చూసాము అనుకోండి, అదేం డైలీ చేంజ్ కాదు కదా, ఎప్పుడో ఒకసారి చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. అంటిల్ అన్లెస్ ఒక స్టేట్ యాడ్ కాడినప్పుడు, ఒక స్టేట్ డిలీట్ అయినప్పుడు. సో అట్లా దానికి ఇంపోర్ట్ మెథడ్ వెళ్ళొచ్చు అంటుంది. సో లో పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ డేటాబేస్ పైన బటన్ ఉండదు, ఇది మనం చేసుకుంటే. ఓకే, to perform any data transformations by using import method. So some of the transformations does not support direct query. So access data is offline. So మనకు సర్వర్ ఆఫ్లైన్ లో ఉన్నా కూడా మనం డేటా అయితే రిట్రీవల్ అయింది కాబట్టి సపోర్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఇక్కడైతే ఆన్లైన్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు మాత్రమే డైరెక్ట్ క్వెరీ వర్క్ అవుతుంది, సర్వర్ ఆన్లైన్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు మాత్రమే. These are the differences majorly. And also you can tell about that one more difference. So we can able to see report table view does not support direct query. So this is very important question they will ask while what is the major difference between direct and import? So this document I will share by today or right away. I will say. Thanks. Ah, good question. We'll expand. So, for example, you have write a custom query using multiple tables, right? So, how we can write a custom query here? So, okay, get data, SQL Server, right? So, what is the server name? I'm going to give. So I want to create a report. I want to create a report. I want to create a report. I want to see the employee name and city. Sorry, department name. So simple. So go to the this table. Employee info. I have two tables. So employee info. There is a table employee info. Employee info table having employee details. Like I want to see first name, last name, hire date, only 3 fields, and salary, 4 fields. So what is 4 fields? I want to first name, okay, first name, okay, uh, first name, last name, first name, last name, hire date, salary. Okay, 4 columns is there along with department name I require. Okay, but if you execute here, department name is not there in this table. Okay, department name is there another table that is called as department info. So department ID 90. What is the department name? So the department 90 executive is the department. So now I want to join this table. So we'll explain everything. Do not worry for the once SQL started. So join of department info table. So this is employee. This is department on e dot employee dot department info department ID equal to d dot department ID. So we have give the department d dot. I don't want to this column. I want to give department name. So this is a query writing by using two tables using joins. You can get it now. See, this is the report. This is the output. The same thing we want to see in the report level. So right, copy this query. So there is advanced options. Advanced options here. We can write this query. Okay, we can do the write the custom query and click OK. So now it will create one more. Only 4 tables. Now you see here only 4 columns come. Click load. Huh? Table create out. For the table. That is query 1 as of now. So 108 rows create. So query 1 is a custom query, SQL custom query. So let's see, we want to see the data, go to table view, SQL custom query. See here, so we need only 4 columns. So this is for one requirement. So for example, we require only one requirement. Tomorrow they will ask for another. ఇప్పుడు మనకు దీనివల్ల డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు మొత్తం కాలమ్స్ లేదు. సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఇంకొక రిపోర్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు దిస్ 5 కాలమ్స్. ఐ వాంట్ టు క్రియేట్ ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడి యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్. సో అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ ఒక సోర్స్ కనెక్ట్ కాదు కదా అందుకని ఆల్ కాలమ్స్ తెచ్చుకుంటాం జనరల్గా. సో నువ్వు ఒక రిపోర్ట్ డిజైన్ చేస్తున్నావు యాజ్ ఎ రిపోర్ట్ డెవలపర్, కిషోర్ ఒక రిపోర్ట్ చేస్తుంది. సో అతను నీ రిపోర్ట్కి నీకు 4 కాలమ్స్ కావాలి. సేమ్ డేటా మోడలింగ్లోనే మీకు డేటా మోడల్ చేసి ఇచ్చేస్తాను. ఇతనికి ఒక రిపోర్ట్ ఇస్తాను, ఇతనికి 7 కాలమ్స్ కావాలా. అప్పుడు నువ్వు ఒక క్వరీ రాసుకుంటావు, ఇతను ఒక క్వరీ రాసుకుంటావు. అలా వద్దు, మనం రాసిన మోడల్ సూట్స్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ వన్, బోత్ డెవలపర్స్. అన్ని టేబుల్స్ వస్తాయి. నీకు అవసరం లేదు, డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఇన్ఫో అవసరం లేదు. డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఇన్ఫో అవసరమే లేదు. సో వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ ద బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ is whatever the query you have written, right, this same data it will execute the same thing it will come. సో మనకు ఇంపోర్ట్ మెథడ్ లో రాసినప్పుడు ఏదైతే క్వరీ ఉందో ఆ క్వరీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయ్యి ఆ కాలమ్స్ మాత్రమే తెచ్చుకుంటాం, దాంతో సంబంధమే లేదు. ఆ జాయిన్స్ చేసుకోవడానికి yes we can do it. That is called as power query. There is a concept called as manage edit query. There is a concept merge queries. So looks like joins in SQL Server. Here merge queries is. So this will merge queries. Let us assume we'll create it. So for example, so what is the table name? Employee info, right? So first of all, so employee info, merge queries as a new. I am going to merge queries as a new table. So it will adding one more table. Like what is the another one is department info, right? So I'm going to add department ID and department ID. So I'm going to click OK. So now it's merged for all the columns. Came. This both results. This contains employee ID, first name. ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది జాయిన్ టైప్ వస్తుంది. మనం లెఫ్ట్ జాయిన్ చేసుకుంటాం. మనం జాయిన్ టైప్ ఉంటుంది ఇక్కడ. ఏ జాయిన్ కావాలి అనే టైప్ ఉంటుంది ఇక్కడ. లెఫ్ట్ outer జాయిన్. If you want to go for inner join, let's give inner join. Only matching records. Click OK. It will only matching records. Now we want to department info table. So here we have to choose. Click here for the second table. I don't want to all the columns. I need only for department name. So in the department table, only it will give department name. So and also choose columns from here. I don't want to here, right? So here choose columns. What are the columns required for in this report? I don't want to all the columns. I require first name, last name, and hire date and salary and department. So click OK. Only this 5 columns. Awesome. That's what you want to do. Sometimes there is a complex query is there. You can write it. Okay. See now first name, last name, hire date, salary, and department. You want to rename it. Instead of this, I want to give department name. So if you rename also, it will come as one step. Apply step. Just watch it. Everything it will come as one step. Rename columns. So you want to see previous step. Up to here it is there. What is the after renaming? This is the output. We can able to see the what is happening previous step. This is called as apply step, transformation level, everything we can do it. Got it? So tomorrow we can discuss about Power Query. This all the each object I will go through and explain it. Okay? That's all for today class. Yeah. So I have one more document also is there. That is for Power BI visuals. Once the visuals started, I will share another document.